Hey everybody, this is Christy, and I am a part-time Poshmark reseller, and you can find my closet at Betty Chic 1116 on Poshmark, or you can find me on Instagram at Betty Chic Boutique. And I wanted to give you guys a little insight into my inventory system. So I know a lot of people, especially when you're first starting out, have a lot of questions about inventory and kind of like how to keep track of everything and how to find things. So I've been doing Poshmark really consistently for just over a year. And when I first started out, I was just selling things out of my own closet. So it really wasn't a big thing to spend a lot of time thinking about how to keep track of, what I had for sale. But when I started seriously going to, the Goodwill and the thrift stores and starting to pick up more inventory, I was doing something that was pretty disorganized. I was either hanging stuff in my closets, and it took over both my hallway closet, right when you walk in my front door, as well as the closet in my extra bedroom. And that worked for a little while, not too much, because I love the shopping part of the whole Poshmark experience. But then after that, what I started doing was I was buying bins, and I was just throwing things in the bins, thinking that I could keep track of things. And after I was selling things, and it would take me, a little bit more time than I would have liked to find things, as well as, when I eventually did find them, then of course you have to put them in the package, make them all nice and pretty for your buyers, and get them all, ready to go. And I knew that, once I reached the point of say having like 300 items or something like that, it was just not sustainable. It wasn't good practice for me, and it really wasn't helping me be efficient and being able to be, a really effective seller and getting things out the door. Because one of the things that's really important to me in terms of customer service for anyone who buys something for my closet is if you buy something today, it ships out tomorrow. Like, that is what I strive for, unless I'm traveling. That's the only reason why something doesn't go out the door the next day. So if I can't find stuff, or I don't know where it is, or it takes me too long to get things, all shipped and packaged together, especially when I'm having more than one sale in a day, then I really needed something that was more effective than that. So of course I did what probably a lot of you do, and what you're doing right now, which is I went to YouTube and I started, watching, especially full-time sellers, because full-time sellers have to have this down. And one of the very first things that appealed to me was being able to, first of all, from a shipping perspective, when you print off your label, and the sellers that I was watching YouTube videos for had the Dymo, for thermal printer. So I found one of those on Facebook groups like Marketplace, super cheap. So I picked that up. And then as she would print her labels off, she would flip them over, and then she would just write on the back of it what the inventory number is for that item. So then she would, print out all of her labels, and then she would go pull her inventory, and then she would package it up, and off she would go. And I that idea really appealed to me. It seemed very organized, and then, from a shipping perspective, very efficient. So I took a weekend. I went into my extra room, which is where I was basically throwing everything, including things that I hadn't listed yet. So, I had bins of things that were already listed. I had bins and piles of things that weren't listed. And so really getting into organizing my game. Now, today I have just under 500 items in my closet. I've got another, as I'm looking over here, because I'm looking at a pile right there. I'm looking at a pile right there, because I went to the Goodwill bins last night and picked up another 66 items that I've been laundering and everything, getting them ready to list. So really thinking again about how I have to organize everything. So I still do hang my formal dresses or anything that I don't want to put into packaging until I'm ready to ship it, because I'm going to do something a little bit more special with that, or it's just because of the material, or because of the item itself. I just don't want to put it in a pre-packaged type, situation. So those are things that I still hang in my closets. Coats would be another perfect example of something that I know when I go to ship it, it's going to require a larger box, and I'm probably going to be doing tissue paper and that type of thing, as opposed to putting it in a clear polymer bag. So I get those off of Amazon, and I have two different sizes. I have I think it's the 9x12 and then the 11x14 clear polymer bags that I use for my inventory. And those work for 90% of everything that I sell. So those are just, I'm so glad that I found those. So that is what I do, is when I go to list and I list something, I put in the listing at the very bottom an inventory number. So then as soon as I'm done listing, it goes in the bag, it gets its item number put on it, and then it goes in a bin. And so for 90% of my inventory, that's what I am doing right now. So I thought that I would show you too, kind of where everything is sitting right now in terms of my inventory. So I'm gonna take you guys up right now, and we're gonna go for a little walk, not too far. So, okay. So I live in a townhouse. I don't have a lot of space. I have a single car garage. We're in the garage right now. See, I told you we weren't gonna go far. I am going to see if I can flip this camera around, or if not, I'm just gonna show you guys. So I posted a picture on Instagram this morning of my bin system. So I have my car right here. You can see it, there's my car. And then along this one wall, I have all my bins. And I'm utilizing boxes too that, you know, are just not going to be boxes that I use for shipping, but I'm like, oh, well, that's kind of a size that I could use that for storing my inventory, be able to utilize all of these things. And it's not like the bins are super expensive. I buy them at Target on sale and things like that. They're like $6 or $7 each. But as I'm growing my inventory, obviously every little bit does cost money. So I'm trying to conserve costs where I can. So I'm going to flip around here. So yep, there was my car. And you can see here is my wall of bins. So each bin, I'm gonna go back here because this is the bin that I'm working on right now. So this, you can see, I have it right up front what the bin number is. That's helpful. Not helpful to flip it around, by the way, when you're pulling stuff out of here. I learned that one. Okay, so it has the bin number on it. So this is bin 14. And I also don't, I know some sellers, what they will do is they will sort by category. So they'll have all of the shirts in one bin, they'll have all of their pants in one bin, they'll have all their skirts in another bin. I just pretty much, because I'm listing things that I'm probably most excited about, everything kind of gets thrown together except for a very few select categories. So who knows what we'll find in bin 14. So you can see bin 14. I'm gonna go ahead and open this one up for you guys. And then inside, you can see I've got my clear polymer bag. So this is a cute little dress. It's a, you know, little gold snowflakes, perfect for holidays for a little girl that I found. So I thought this was super cute. But anyways, you can see, so I have this in its clear polymer bag, and then I have the item number, which is 14, along with the bin number. So bin 14, item number 11. And I can usually fit, on a good day, about 30 to 35, sometimes even 40 items in here, depending on how big they are. So, and you know, I used to put them up, you know, stand them up like that. I didn't get as many in the bin that way. So this system so far has worked really well for me. So when something sells, I can go on the listing. So this is the way it works right now today. It's gonna work differently soon. We found that out at PoshFest during the hackathon. But right now, at the bottom of my listings, you'll find there's an item number, and then I have where I can find it in my inventory. So I print out the label when something sells. On the back of the label, I write the item number, and then as I go to pull, I just pull everything out, and I can match it right with its shipping label. So to decrease the possibility that something is going to be shipped to the wrong person, because we all know that happens. It's happened to me once, it will never happen again because of my inventory system. So I even do this actually for shoes. So I can tell you right underneath this, my shoe bin is bin 11. Check it, see bin 11, and I have a whole bunch of shoes in here. Each shoe in its own individual polymer bag, and then in a larger polymer bag with the item number on it. So that way nothing is gonna get scratched or damaged. So I mentioned that there are only a couple of categories that I have its own special bin for. There are 2 that are out here right now. So if I go along here, in this bin right here, you can see right here, ATH. That's for all of my athletic wear. I don't have a ton of it in my closet, but you know, when it does sell, then it's an easy bin to find. And then I also have a couple of bins of items that I am selling for my brother. So he asked me to sell some things for him on Poshmark. So I have, he has 2 bins that are just dedicated to him with his initials. And so I know when I'm pulling an item out of inventory that that is something for him. And then we know, based on the hackathon, from the Poshmark announcements at PoshFest, that they're going to allow us some private fields on our listings moving forward. That is coming out soon. So you're able to put your inventory number in those private fields and they won't show up on your listing. I mean, it's not like it's a huge deal. I don't think it really matters to buyers, but at the same time, it's kind of nice to keep the listing nice and clean. So that's my inventory system. Works really well for me, makes it really easy for me to be able to go and pull things as they sell so I can get them out the door in that, you know, less than 24 hours, which is always what I'm aiming for. And yeah, so hopefully this has been helpful to you guys. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. Hit me up on Instagram at Betty Chic Boutique, or definitely if you're interested in anything in my closet and taking a look at what's in my closet, I am Betty Chic 1116 on Poshmark. So I hope you guys have a great one, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.